Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Canto 7 of Brilliant as the Sun, retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 7, The Science of God. We'll be reading from chapter number 3. Hiranyakashipu tries to become immortal. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamam vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Yudhishthir shook his head. I still do not understand why Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill his son. Narad said, everything will become clear soon enough. Even though Hiranyakashipu spoke about the perishability of the body, he thought if he could gain the yogic perfections, he could make his own body eternally strong and youthful. He was very ambitious. He desired to become free from old age, disease, and death, and he also wanted to be the unconquerable ruler of the entire universe, including even Brahma's planet. How did he plan to do that? Asked Yudhishthir with a wry smile. He went to a valley on Mandara hill, where he performed the arduous austerity of standing on his toes. Looking up with his arms raised, he was sure if he maintained this position, he would eventually attain perfection after many years, a radiance as bright as the sun's rays at the time of dissolution emanated from his hair. When the gods saw that what was happening, they all returned to their respective homes. It had become dangerous to travel in outer space. The fire and smoke coming from Hiranyakashipu's head engulfed both the upper and lower planets. Everywhere became extremely hot. The power of his austerities agitated the rivers and oceans, mountains and islands trembled, and stars and planets fell from their orbits. All directions were ablaze. Yudhishthir looked alarmed. How was the universe saved? Narad said, listen to this, to what transpired. Apsaras and Gandharvas ran screaming through the streets of Amravati, their skin burning within his palace. Indra clutched his throat. I can barely breathe. The air is burning my lungs. Brihaspati wiped the sweat from his forehead. Immediately evacuate everyone. We must retreat to Brahmalok. As Indra led the exodus out of Amravati, he saw celestials fleeing other planets, including the moon, the sun, and even the worlds of the sages. All of them were heading toward Brahma's planet. They arrived there and set up camp while the leaders entered Brahma's palace to inform him of the situation. Brahma spoke on everyone's behalf. Bowing low to Brahma, he said, O Lord of the gods, Master of the universe, we have all fled here because of Hiranyakashipu's severe austerities. The fire emanating from him is creating havoc throughout the universe. O Great One, Chief of the universe, if you think it properly, kindly stop this disturbance before everything is destroyed and all of us are dead. Hiranyakashipu is undergoing terrible austerity, even though I am sure you know his plan. Kindly listen to what he has in mind. He recognizes how you became the universal creator and the most important person by dint of your severe austerities, mystic yoga practice, and meditation. He believes that since both he and time are eternal, he will persist in executing similarly difficult austerities till he can occupy your post. He then plans to reverse the established order in the universe. He wants the impious to flourish and the pious to suffer. My Lord, he will not stop until he has usurped you. Nothing else, not even the lordship of Dhruvalok, will satisfy him. O Lord, we have heard from reliable sources that Hiranyakashipu is performing severe austerities. Even as we speak, please do not delay. While you are still the Lord of the three planetary systems, please do what you think is appropriate to him to stop him. Brahma's four faces remained impassive. The sun god fell to his knees and pleaded with him, fearing he may be disinterested in protecting his position. O Lord, while you rule this universe, the cows and Brahmins are protected, and consequently, others can enjoy material happiness, opulence, and good fortune. However, if Hiranyakashipu occupies your position, everyone will suffer. Brahma agreed. To protect others, it behooved him to act. He turned to his attendants and said, Bhrigu, Daksha, summon the chief sages. You will all accompany me to Hiranyakashipu's hermitage. Soon after, Brahma peered down from his swan aeroplane as he flew over Mandara hill. Can you spot him? He called to his associates. They flew over the region again and again. There was no sign of the demon. At last, Daksha noticed waves of heat emanating from a giant ant hill. My lord, he said, I think he is beneath that ant hill. Like a cloud covered sun, he emanates heat born of his austerities. They descended to the area of the immense ant hill, and Brahma called out, O son of Kashyap, please come out. All good fortune to you. You have perfected your austerities, and therefore I am here to give you a benediction. Ask me of whatever you desire, and I shall try to fulfill your wish. The anthill quivered and fell apart. A huge skeletal hand thrust out, followed by bony feet, and finally, before them stood a gigantic skeleton. Greetings, Brahma. I am Hiranyakashipu. With this, he knelt and lowered his head. Brahma looked shocked. He murmured to his associates, Just see. He has been standing here for so long the ants have devoured his skin, fat, flesh, and blood. Turning to Hiranyakashipu, he said, I am astonished by your endurance. Despite being eaten by all kinds of worms and ants, you are keeping your life air circulating within your bones. This is certainly wonderful. Brahma indicated the sages who accompanied him. Even great saints like Bhrigu cannot perform such severe austerities, nor in the future will anyone be able to match your feat. Who within the three worlds can imagine keeping themselves alive without even drinking water for 100 celestial years? My dear son of Diti, with great determination, you have done what even the most powerful celestial sages cannot do. Therefore, you have brought me under your control, even though I am an immortal and you are mortal. I am prepared to give you any benediction you desire. Rest assured, your audience with me will not go in vain. Brahma lifted his kamandalu to sprinkle spiritual water over Hiranyakashipu. As soon as the water touched him, his bones, muscles, tissues, blood, organs, and skin were restored. Hiranyakashipu stood up in delight. He examined his arms, legs, and chest, which had the hue of molten gold. He looked and felt more vital than ever before. He struck his chest with his fists, which resembled thunderbolts. I feel wonderful, he exclaimed like a young man. He glanced up at Lord Brahma, who hovered just above the ground on the back of his swan carrier, smiling from ear to ear. Hiranyakashipu offered his prostrated obeisance before Brahma. Thank you, he exclaimed again and again. Brahma smiled and raised a hand in benediction. Rise, best of the demons, I shall offer you boons. Hiranyakashipu leapt up, seeing that Brahma was ready to grant his desires. He became overwhelmed with jubilation. His eyes filled with tears and his whole body shivered with joy. Folding his hands, he prayed in a faltering voice, I offer you my respectful obeisance, Lord Brahma, for you are the supreme person of this universe. At the end of each of your days, ignorance engulfs the entire universe, but at the beginning of the following day, you revive it by your power using the modes of nature. I offer my obeisance because you are the first person in the cosmos. Your knowledge and intelligence developed this universe. You cause everything that exists within it. You are the Lord of all the universes, moving and non moving living entities. You control everything. Everyone's life is consciousness and senses. And senses. You are the Vedas that give knowledge of ritual sacrifice. You inspire the Brahmins who perform the sacrifices. You are also the super soul within all living beings, eternal, omniscient, and transcendental to time and space. You are time which reduces everyone's lifespan but remains the unchanging witness and controller of all beings. Hiranyakashipu gazed up at the golden four-headed deity. The demon had little respect for any universal authority, but as the supreme person in the universe, Brahma could grant infallible boons. He deemed different from the treacherous Vishnu, whom he would never worship. He spoke in reverential tones, accepting the Creator God as the all powerful controller. Everything in the universe is a part of you. The Vedas are your body, although you are transcendental to the material world. It comes from your womb and you control it. My Lord, you are always live in your abode, but at expanding as universal form, you simultaneously experience the sensations. Sorry, although you are transcendental to the material world, it comes from your womb and you control it. My Lord, you always live in your abode, but by expanding as a universal form, you simultaneously experience the sensations of the material world. You are all pervading Brahman, you are the super soul in all living beings. You are the oldest and supreme being. I offer my respectful obeisance, for you possess three unlimited energies: spiritual, material, and marginal. Brahma listened in silence as Hiranyakashipu finished his eulogy and began to make his request. My Lord, you can give the best benedictions. Therefore, please bless me that I may never die at the hands of any living creatures created by you. Brahma raised his hand in blessing. Hiranyakashipu hesitated momentarily. He wanted more boons, which would make him invulnerable even to death by natural causes. My Lord, please also grant that I may not die either within or outside of any residence. Neither during the daytime nor at night, neither on the ground nor sky, as well as not dying at the hands of any creature created by you. I also desire not to die by any weapon nor by any human or animal. Brahma nodded in acquiescence. Hiranyakashipu knotted his eyebrows in thought. Vishnu was tricky. He could not leave any loophole by which the wretched deity might slay him. Lord, grant that nothing alive or otherwise can kill me. Grant that no god, demon, or naga serpent can slay me. Please grant me the same unrivaled powers and lordship over the universe and the gods that you possess. Give me all the mystic powers and grant that none of them will diminish or be lost in time. So, this is the end of chapter number 3. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.